Oh shoot, wait. No, we're already live.
What's up?
Oh wait, we're already live, but I'll
Oh, there you go. Let me refresh the page then.
I think so at least.
Oh, yep.
Um okay.
Audio check.
Yeah. Um does this sound good so far? I don't know. If you just
Oh,
wanna
they sound pretty all right. Like as in voices are about the same in terms of volume level. There's like a roughly like 8 second delay, so it seems everything seems all right. All right, let me grab the link. Ping. So I would retitle the stream like week uh NFL week 2 review or recap would probably be better.
mm-hmm.
All right. Also, currently on stream, you're just showing yourself retitling it, which I mean, not necessarily an issue.
I mean, I don't know. Wait, I'm trying to think. How would I don't know if I could fix that. I guess I could lock my screen, but
It's fine. I guess we can worry about logistics a bit more next time.
okay.
All right. All right. Just let me know when you want to start. If
I'm
you think
good.
everything's good, anyways. All right.
I'm good to start now if you
Uh,
want.
all right. So let's start off. After seeing week 2, what do you think are like some of the top teams now based on this week? Like what is your top 5 right now?
Top five right now, in no order.
Yeah, you don't have to order them right now.
Alright, wait. Let me go to the standings real quick. I'd probably say Buffalo is up there. I'd say the Colts are probably like fifth. I'll give the Colts credit. They're probably fifth. I think they're gonna drop off now. The Eagles are up there. So that's three. Packers are up there. I don't know if I want. I don't think I want to put the Bucks up there. Um, Rams are probably up there, and then
That's
is
so
that
you
six?
only have one team. Actually, your current top 5 is, and that would be Packers, Rams, Colts, Bills, and Buccaneers.
I don't know.
Or the Buccaneers.
I'd probably take the Bucks out. Let me put the Chargers in. That's probably my current top five. So I'd probably go in order. I'd probably go Bills, Eagles, Packers. Nah, I'd probably put the Lions there at four. And then I'd put the Chargers at five. So I'd go my top five right now. I'd go Bills, Eagles, Packers, Lions, Chargers. I think the Colts and the Rams are right outside, and the Bucks. What about you, Aqua?
So right now in the AFC, I think it is literally just a two-team race right now, based on how things currently feel. I feel like it's the Ravens and Bills, and then the NFC feels a little more open. Obviously, got to get like the Packers in there. I don't really know where to put the Lions right now because the real question is how bad are the Bears and how will they compare to Ravens this week. But I'll put them there. I'm a Lions fan, might as well. If I don't believe in my team, who does? And then the final spot, I guess I'd lean Rams over Bucks and Eagles, even though I think Eagles will probably win this week, which you could see in the review on this channel. But just because I think they match up better against the Rams, but I think the Rams feel like a better team just because the Eagles' offense feels so sluggish and like doesn't do anything on the air in the air right now. And then I'll do the reverse bottom five. Bears. I would have Dolphins. You might be able to take it off based on like what they did yesterday, but I'm disregarding that because we haven't seen what everyone else can do this week. So Dolphins, Bears, Browns, Saints, and I guess shoot, who's like the next worst
Titans.
team after that? Yeah, Titans probably. Yeah, I think that's probably the bottom five, right? I'm assuming you don't really have any disagreements with that.
Yeah, probably not. Um, yeah, I'd agree with that bottom five.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. Titans at least like Cam Ward looks pretty good, but like there's just no talent on that offense. Oh, whatsoever.
Yep.
I I think we should finally actually get started though.
Okay.
So first up, Packers versus Commanders. You have any initial thoughts you want to give before I go off some of the things that happened?
No, you can go right ahead.
Let's start with like the biggest news I think to come out of this game. Austin Eckler out for the season. I'm not even sure Austin Eckler will like come back to play football. He's getting up there in age, and running backs tend to have a shorter lifespan in terms of the NFL. And yeah, that's not a fun injury to come back from the core and ACL at that age.
Yep.
So let's see what the Commanders do. I feel like they're probably going to do something at the trade deadline or spring in someone from free agency because yeah, their recurring running back room is just Crusty Merritt. Is that his name? The seventh round pick. That's kind of about it. And then the Packers also with an injury, but I think Jaden Reed will probably come back at some point. But yeah, shoulder injury of Jaden Reed, so they're gonna be without Jaden Reed for the rest of these next few games. I believe their schedule's kind of paper right now, so they'll be fine. And then yeah, Jaden Daniels apparently got injured during that game. And
Knee
we recently
injury.
learned that he's gonna be out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna be out with like his ankle injury of some type. I
Okay.
didn't really see anything happen to him, but I guess he's not playing this week. Uh, actually, recently, another injury I just learned, but we might as well talk about his performance as well. Tucker Craft. Apparently he's a little banged up right now at practice, but he went off 124 yards and a touchdown. Like, that's an insane performance for a tight end.
Yeah. The Packers did very well. Um in and I mean in almost every aspect offensively, and then defensively they just played well enough for the Commanders not to get close enough to try something or to kind of put the game away. So I don't know, not much to say about this game. I think it was kind of a quiet game. Packers just kind of took care of business, and Commanders just kind of came up short. Doesn't help that they're all, that a few of their key players got injured, so not great. But yeah, I think overall, really solid game by the Packers, and the Commanders just need to play better. And you can't have Zach Ertz be your leading wide receiver in 2025. That's just not going to work. Terry McLaurin needs to get with it. I know he had a really bad week one, or at least he wasn't targeted that much week one.
Yeah, I mean to
Um,
be fair, he did hold out for like the entirety of training camp, so AJ Nails only had time to like build chemistry with Debo.
yeah, Debo played, fine. I mean, he got a touchdown, so actually he played pretty well. Um,
Thank you, garbage touchdown for my fantasy.
yeah, he's racking up those touchdowns, so hopefully he continues to do that. I feel like someone like Luke McCaffrey or one of these other guys that I actually don't think I've heard of any of these other guys down here.
I mean,
Um,
that's not that surprising.
I,
There's
yeah, one of them needs to step up. I think for Jaden Daniels for them to have another successful season. Otherwise, it's not going to look too great for them. Um, but I mean, Zach Ertz being your number one wide like pass catcher in 2025 is kind of crazy. So I feel like the Commanders got to do better on that side of the ball, but doesn't really help that their quarterback's injured. Other than that, nothing really much to say.
I don't know. I feel like honestly the O line was a bigger problem for the Commanders than their pass catchers. Like I know LaCorn hasn't done anything really in these last 2 weeks, but like in theory, Debo and LaCorn should be like sufficient, and like they have like Brown. Is there like a receiver that like that shouldn't be like so that should at least be decent enough to like get by. Like the O line just didn't give him time. But like, let's ask these questions. Both questions now for both these teams. Do we think the Packers are an actual Super Bowl contender so far? Obviously, it's too early to say like definitively. It's week 2, obviously.
Yeah,
But
I'd say so. I'd say they're good enough on the ball, defensively and offensively, to be a contender. Yeah, I put them in. I definitely put them in the contenders. I'd put them in the contenders, maybe pretenders tier if we were like doing a tier list.
yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of questions asked about the going to win against over the Lions, just because like it looked like the Lions made a flip a switch at 180. So I don't know. Was that just the week 1 problems on the Lions end, or was the Packers just that dominant in that game that they couldn't get anything going? I guess we'll see in the rematch. Also, we have some breaking news. I guess the Falcons released their kicker Younghoe Koo.
Oh yeah, I saw that coming. He got injured and their replacement
Yeah,
balled out. That's sad.
yeah, he was good for so long, and now he's just can't kick it the same. It sucks that happened.
Yep.
But let's ask the reverse question. Do we think the Commanders are still a playoff tier team based on their performance so far?
I wouldn't say so. I think that win against the Giants was kind of expected.
Yeah,
I think this win just, I mean, it just kind of shows last year was last year was a very very good year that's not really replicable. So like they're not going to have like 12 wins again this year, obviously. I think a lot of people know that. Um but I think they could definitely get like 8 or 9 wins. But I think we're going to see them like kind of just mid out, I think, by the end of the season. I don't think they're going to do anything special.
yeah, that's probably a fair assessment at least right now. I mean, they have time to prove themselves. They have to play the Eagles still, so like maybe they'll like prove that they're better than what they've shown so far. But yeah, I'd lean towards now right now as well. Let's get on to potentially, actually, probably this was the game of the week for no reason whatsoever. And every time these two teams play and a forced primetime slot, this game sucks. But for some reason, Giants versus Cowboys, Giants just falling short of beating the Cowboys. What a game! Yeah, what are your initial thoughts on the game?
Russell Wilson looking like he's gonna go back to another Super Bowl. With that game he just played right there. Sadly, they lost it, which is actually insane. If you were watching the final minutes, you would have
Yeah,
thought the Giants. I mean, the Giants had all the momentum going into the overtime, period. And well, they, forced the Cowboys to punt and they got the ball back and they couldn't do anything. So, pretty sad to see that the game ended like that, considering the Giants just went crazy at the end there with Malik Neighbors and or not Malik Neighbors and Russ. But yeah, just sad to see it end that way. And I think the Cowboys almost gave away a win here, but they were able to secure it at the last second. Pretty surprising considering they were able to play so well against a team that, you know, kind of unexpectedly almost, beat them up, but they were able to get it done. And yeah, well done to Russ, I will say. He kind of saved his starting job there with this game at New York, but probably could lose it in the next 2 games if he really wanted to. So we'll have to wait and see.
uh, I feel like this like adds a lot of questions to the transitive property because like the Giants were able to move the ball against the Cowboys. Did they just have like a really good game, or was it or the Eagles just not that good on offense this year? Because like they did move the ball against the Cowboys, but like nowhere near as well as the Giants did this game. So kind of and the Giants the week before literally couldn't move the ball at all. So I don't know. Could just be weird divisional games, you know. But speaking of
Yeah.
also another play that went off that game, Malik Neighbors 167 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like talk about a good redemption after that last game where he couldn't get a touchdown
Yep.
against the Commanders.
He's looking like that Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase type of wide receiver right now.
Yep. Let's see if he continues to ball out this year. Speaking of not balling out, a nice backup tackle named James Hudson. 4 back to back penalties in one drive. a feat I didn't think I'd ever see.
That's
Two
like
false starts and 2 unnecessary roughness calls.
that's actually something that like you deserve to get cut for. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I don't even know how
He
that's
got
possible.
benched and he started yelling at Dable on the sideline after getting benched. I don't know why you're arguing that.
Hmm.
Literally, the very first play he got flagged on, he literally just like slapped the edge rusher in the face.
Hmm.
Like, and that is
Yeah.
actually the first time someone is got called for 4 flags in one drive in this entire century.
I mean, that's probably rightfully so. There's no way you're a professional athlete and you get called for 4 penalties in a row, especially in a game like football where it's all about like play after play. There's no way, like there's actually no way you can do that and like be like and be not absolutely like destroyed by your team. Like your team's going to hate you after that.
Yeah, no, that you could make a very reasonable argument that he threw with the game away for the Giants because all they needed was any extra points.
Yep.
Yeah. Speaking of extra points, Brandon Albury 64-yarder to bring that to OT and then win it in OT. I really thought we were gonna get an actual tie for like once they hit the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, same. I was like, dude, there's no way. I was like, do they go into second overtime? And then I realized they don't, and I was like, oh, maybe we'll just get a tie. That'd actually be a really fun way to end this
I
game.
was gonna say the last tie I remember was 2022. I think was it Commanders and Giants that tied. Either way,
I
like
don't remember.
it's been forever.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. And I guess the next question to ask: do we think Dable will be fired by the end of this year, based on what we're seeing on the product on the field?
Yeah, but I don't think it should be mid-season. I think the Giants are gonna put themselves in a headache if they do it mid-season. They should just wait till the end of the season, unless it gets really, really bad. Like it's not like Urban Meyer is the only coach I can really think of over the past few years that justified getting fired mid-season. Like everybody else,
I
like
don't know. I think Matt Eberflus was justifiable.
eh, he was bad. I will give you that. Matt, I've never heard of that guy before he got hired.
Like, it's
But
funny. He was like the defensive coordinator for the Colts, and they were literally planning to fire him, and the Bears just hired him as head coach.
I just don't. I mean, this game they performed well. Last game they were They were not great. They didn't really do anything offensively. So let's see how they do for the next like 5 weeks, and then maybe we could take up this evaluation of whether you should get fired or not again. Because I don't think right now it's justifiable. Like a mid-season, I don't think it's justifiable. End of the season, maybe. We'll just have to wait. I just want to see their offense because I know their defense can be really solid. I want to see how their offense does though under Dable continuing throughout the rest of the season.
That's fair. All right, let's get into the Steelers beating themselves against the Seahawks. Yeah, weird thing with the Seahawks this season. Both their running backs can't be good at the same time. Last game it was Charbonnet going off in week 1, and now it's Walker going off while the other one did nothing. So that's kind of odd, but I guess if it's working, it's working. And then speaking of running backs, Jalen Warren was the entire Steelers offense. It felt like that game. The team in receptions and yards and rushing yards, like it feels just kind of random, but sure.
Yeah.
Continuing on with the running backs, Caleb Johnson, that just giving up a touchdown by touching a ball and then not going after it.
I didn't see the game. What happened on that? Was it a kickoff or a punt?
So it was I think it was a kickoff, if I remember correctly. But basically the ball gets sent in the landing zone to be returned, right? And I think it bounced off his hands. Even if it didn't, the kickoff rule state you have to, if the ball lands in the landing zone, you have to return it or like fair catch it.
Uh-huh.
And it just like bounced into the near the back of the end zone. The Seahawks just jumped on it and recovered it for a touchdown.
Wow. I will say grabbing the ball was because like if he touched it within the 10-yard line, like yeah, you kind of have to grab the ball like if you're in the end zone because that new landing zone rule. I mean, it's forcing you to take the ball anyway. So the fact that he didn't like just catch it and just run, I don't know, like even out of bounds is weird. Cause like whatever, like that's literally the number one rule of special teams is don't get caught in the end zone. I mean, like that's the worst possible thing. Don't get caught or don't fumble the ball in the end zone. That's literally the worst thing you can do. And I guess yeah,
Yes.
and also just getting in the way of the ball and like having it touch you. Like I remember Edelman did that once or almost did it in one of like the Patriots' last playoff games, and that was terrible. Because it almost got called against them. But that's just like a thing you cannot do, and it's always the younger players too, and they're the ones who get cut like 2 weeks later, and I feel bad because like they just screw up.
Yeah, he's like a third round pick as a running back too, and he's gotten like no playing time, and now his whole thing was returning, and now I don't even know if they're gonna put him out there to return again after that. So I wouldn't be shocked if he gets cut at this point.
Yeah, sad to see. How did Aaron Rodgers do? I I have.
Two interceptions. One of them was literally it was on target and everything, and then like the wrong receiver like tried catching it, and then it bounced into the Seahawks' hand basically.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That yeah, that's
The
unfortunate.
other one was like definitely on Rodgers though. So like it really was just a shooting themselves in the foot like that game.
Mm-hmm.
And the Steelers. Then let's talk about this with the Steelers. What is their defense? More likely, why is this defense suck? Like this team's known for its elite defenses year after year, and if you look at the box scores, Seattle should not be scoring that many points against this team, and neither should have the Jets. So like, what do we gotta ask? Like, why is it looking like this?
It's a
Like,
great question. I mean, Jalen Ramsey had a game. Um, Patrick Queen had a mid game too. It just seems like all their good players had average games. To be honest, T.J. Watt, Cameron Hayward, they none of them seemed like they had an amazing game that stood out. Darius Slay had a mid game too. Yeah, none of their good players it seems like are balling out. What happened to T.J. Watt, by the way? Like
yeah, that's a good
I
question.
feel like he's fallen off, but I feel like the potential of him being the best defensive player is still 100% there, at least right now. It's just, I feel like no one's giving him any credit anymore. And, like, he's just also just not performing at the level. Like, what was his injury was it last year?
I don't think he was injured last year. I think it was maybe the year before, but
I don't know, like, what
I
happened. Did
think
he
he's
just,
just. I don't know. Like it just seems like it's just underperforming for no reason. Like you'd think TG Watt would have a field day against that O line against of the Seahawks. It's not supposed to be good. So I really don't know. It's a weird thing to Steelers with a bad defense and like a above average offense might be fair to say. I
yeah.
don't know. I don't know. We'll see if they go 9-8 still, but like it's weird seeing a Mike Tomlin led team have not a good defense. Like, yeah. Oh, let's go on to the next game, where the Rams kind of just struggled in the first half to deal with the Titans, and then after like the last quarter, they just put them away. Because like at halftime, the score was Rams 10, Titans 13. Kind of a weird game there. No shocker here. Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua dominated. I mean, everyone thought they could potentially be the best wide receiver duo going into. They're playing the Titans, so yeah, they went off.
Yep.
Not a lot to say there. Puka actually had a 45-yard trick play run for a touchdown, so that's pretty
I
cool.
did see that. That was like the first touchdown of the week. That was pretty cool. Or the first touchdown of the weekend. That was cool.
And
Yeah, the Rams offense, they're just dynamic. When everybody's healthy, they're really hard to stop, I will say. And yeah.
but yeah,
Is Cam Ward playing fine and his team just sucks? That's what I've been
yeah,
hearing.
he doesn't have any like he had like his first ever touchdown. He was basically like scrambling like everywhere out of the pocket, and then he like from what you call it like sidearm. He sidearmed like a throw to the end zone, and it was for a touchdown across his body. It's kind of insane.
Hmm.
But yeah, basically, he just doesn't have any receivers. I mean, are you shocked? Kelvin Ridley's your wide receiver one, and then like a aging Tyler Lockett is probably your wide receiver two.
Yeah. That's
Like,
yeah. I mean, Tyler
the weird
Lockett
thing
as your wide
though,
receiver too is crazy.
the weird thing though is that the Titans O line just also apparently been terrible, which is weird because like they have some good pieces on that O line, so I don't know why it's so trash. So I don't know. Yeah, it just sounds like Cam Ward doesn't have any help. So yeah, it seems like the season's gonna be Cam Ward versus his offense.
Mm-hmm.
And weird thing to see, Sean McVay actually injured himself.
I did see you post that in Discord. That's a little weird. Um, I mean, you can still coach with crutches, so not much to say there.
Nah, they
Besides,
gotta
it's
put him
just
on
kind of weird.
IR. You have to have the OC take over. No, I'm kidding.
Maybe he'll sit in a wheelchair on the sideline.
But yeah, I mean, to my knowledge, he's gonna be fine. But yeah, I don't think I ever recall a coach getting injured mid game. But there you go.
Yeah.
This next one's gonna be very quick. Bills Jets. Just a beatdown. The Jets looked good last week, scoring 32 points because we thought the Steelers defense was still elite, and it clearly isn't, or at least it's not been to start the season. And yeah, Josh Allen broke his nose during that game, but right back out onto the field afterwards and played through it. So didn't seem to affect him too much. So the stat lines, Josh Allen's stat line for this game was actually kind of mid, honestly, all things considered. But that's because James Cook went off 132 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah. Looks like James Cook is worth the money. He got paid this offseason, so it seems like that was a good contract.
Yeah.
Just
You can
other
yeah.
quarterback injury though. Oh, sorry.
You're good. You're good.
Justin Field got concussed and will be out this week. So Tyrod Taylor, who
Hmm.
came in and somehow was the Jets' best offensive player according to like PFF and stuff. So yeah, not a good night. When your backup quarterback is the best player on the field according to the analytics.
Yeah, James Cook went crazy. That's cool to see. That the Bills finally have a running back that can like carry an offense because they haven't had that in like they haven't had that since LaShawn McCoy back in like 2015. So kind of cool for the Bills to have that and James Cook. Hopefully he continues that trend of like that workhorse back that can kind of relieve pressure from Josh Allen. That'd be great for their offense. So hopefully you can keep that up. Joshua Palmer being your leading receiver, little, but I mean at least you have Kincaid, Coleman, and Shakir to kind of back him up and fill in those fill in the gaps. And I guess Dawson Knox is still on the team. I actually didn't know that. I thought he was gone, but he's still there. And so like they have probably and Elijah Moore. I actually kind of thought he was out of the league, but he's still in the league. They really do have the most mid wide receivers of all time, but they somehow work together as a unit, which is kind of cool. But it is Josh Allen, so that makes sense. And yeah, Tyrod Taylor starting in 2025 is not something I had on my bingo card, but hey, I'm ready for it. Tyrod Taylor, he's fun to watch sometimes because he can run, or he used to be able to run. I don't know anymore, probably not. But he was a pretty decent quarterback for the Bills back in the day. So maybe he gets some good reps in, and maybe him and Garrett Wilson go off together. I don't know. But the New York receiving corps is not looking great. Besides Garrett Wilson, having Breece Hall being your second leading receiver is not amazing. They should probably look into fixing that this offseason. So hopefully they can. Besides that, not much to say. Breece Hall needs to play better, though. 10 for 29 is insane. That needs to be better. I don't know what happened to him. I think post Breece Hall injury is not looking great, I will say. He just needs to I don't know if he lost his explosiveness or what, but he needs to play better. Other than that, not much to say, yeah.
Yep. I mean, yeah, Josh not having good wide receivers outside of Diggs, who is no longer on this team. Yeah, not really shocking. I mean, once again, I'm not talk about it too much, but on Thursday night there was a lot of drops, so yep, nothing shocking there. Um, Next up, your team, the Patriots, managed to sneak out a win against the Dolphins at the Dolphins. So second week in Miami, that's supposed to be a really hard place to play. They got their win. Oh,
Yeah.
well, let's start. Let's just start with the elephant in the room. Let's just start with Tua. So, yeah, Tua turned the ball over again, and he also did that on Thursday. What are the Dolphins supposed to do with Tua? Is my question going forward.
I don't know. It's very complicated because you look at his stats over the past few years and you think, wait a second, this guy's actually pretty decent. And then you look at the eye test and it's like, oh yeah, no, this guy's not great. He'll have like a stat stuffing game that saves his stats, and then he just has terrible games. And this was not even like he wasn't okay. He was terrible on some drives, but for the most part, he was balling out. They did kind of get bailed out by their special teams though, returning that touchdown and taking the lead, and then Antonio Gibson matched it with another special teams touchdown. That was pretty cool. But Tua did actually get Tyreek Hill the ball really well this game. It's just there doesn't seem to be any excitement with the Dolphins. Like they seem to be a very boring team, just like morale wise. And I think Tua and Mike McDaniels aren't the best of. It doesn't seem like they're the best of like coworkers anymore. Like I feel like they had a lot more energy and like kind of effectiveness with each other in the past. Now it just seems like it doesn't seem like they're doing enough together. I don't know. It just doesn't. It's not producing enough for them to win these games, and they have good players. I mean, Achan balled out even though he didn't run that well. He balled out as being a receiving back, and Jalen Waddle played really well, and Tyreek Hill played amazing as well. So like when you have your three best players on offense playing amazing, and Tua is getting them the ball, you'd think you'd win, but then you don't because your defense lets or your special teams lets Antonio Gibson return a 109-yard touchdown, and then your defense also gives up like a few touchdowns to Drake May that you probably could have stopped. So I don't really know much to say about the Dolphins. Tua, big question mark. I personally would give him probably one more year after this year, and after that I'd be done with him. If it doesn't work
The
out,
problem is they extended him to $53 million a season for 4 years.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, nowadays most contracts are tradable somehow. Like the teams will make it work. I don't know if any team wants Tua though. That's the one thing. I don't know if anybody wants him. So the Dolphins might be stuck with him. That's the problem. So we'll have to wait and
Yeah.
see. But right now, Tua just needs to bring it back to the basics. It seems like he's either doing too much or too little. Like he's either doing way too much and throwing interceptions, or he's doing way too little and not being effective or accurate. Like I don't know what it is with him.
Yeah, I don't know. Just a lot of short passage and like it's just not getting that deep all the Tyreek it feels like anymore
Yeah,
for
true.
a start. Uh but yeah, you already brought it up, but I think the craziest thing of that game was a back-to-back return. We had, a Washington with that punt return touchdown to get a match back kickoff return by Gibson. That is just ridiculous. And I'm not sure we're gonna see that again for a long time. A back-to-back return.
Mhm.
But yeah, like I said, I said earlier, Dolphins is like the best time for Dolphins to stack up wins during the Miami Heat. It's hot right now. Like the Patriots are coming in from New England. It is nowhere near as warm as it is down there, and that didn't seem to help them win this. But the other question looking moving forward is what games can Dolphins win?
Yeah, that's the
They can't win
problem.
this one.
If you can't win these first 2 weeks, then what games can you win? You know what I mean? So yeah, that's a good point. I like that. Um, yeah.
And then you already brought it up, but yeah, they have their corner problem is just as bad as it was thought it was going to be on paper. It has been atrocious. They cannot stop the pass to save their lives. Their best corner, if you look at their depth chart, is Rasul Douglas, who didn't get re-signed by the Bills last offseason, which I think says enough. And I feel like the Bills have like the most insane corner room either. So I don't know. And their second starting corner is named Storm Duck, which is hilarious, and also is the longest tenured corner in that room. I just found that hilarious. But let's get this out of the way. Should Mike McDaniel's be fired?
Probably.
Like I just don't see how this team does moving forward with this. Because like put simply, you have to make a decision. You cannot keep Tua and McDaniel's together because like clearly it hasn't worked. I think we saw the peak of it in 2023 with like a peak form Tyreek Hill, and they couldn't do anything with that. So like, what hope does this team have as Tyreek gets older and everything else? Like, this team also just doesn't have cap space whatsoever. So I don't know. It's a tough. I don't even know what you do as the Dolphins. You put yourself in such a bad spot. Let's just I'll move on. The Dolphins are a mess. Speaking of being a mess, let's talk about the choke job that was the Jaguars against the burless Bengals. Trevor Lawrence throwing 2 interceptions. He seems to not be able to play a game without throwing multiple picks, it seems like.
Hmm.
And then, like, Brian Thomas Jr. just didn't want to catch the ball, I guess, this game. So I don't really know what's up there. He looked so much better when Mac Jones was throwing the ball instead
Holy
of Trevor
crap,
Lawrence.
12 targets is crazy, and only 4 catches.
Yeah, I wasn't lying about the drops.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I don't know why he's better with Mac Jones, but apparently he's just better with Mac Jones at QB.
Only catching a 30-yard passes is insane. That's actually wild.
Yeah. I know it's still early, but I think it's safe to say the Jaguars were overhyped as like this dark horse team.
I
At
don't
least in their
know.
current state.
I really do like this Jaguars team on paper. I mean, if you think about it, like
It should be so much better than it is.
Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter, Travis Etienne, and Trevor Lawrence on paper with I mean, their backup running back is supposedly good, so maybe. And then Tim Patrick is a pretty serviceable third wide receiver. So, like, on paper, this is a solid team that should be able to make a playoff run. But they just never seem to get it together on offense. And then their defense, I don't know that many players on their defense, I'm going to be honest. Like,
I like their pass rush. That's about it. Josh Hines, Allen, and Walker is pretty alright as a duo, but like everything else kind of is not great on their defense. Also, we just talk about the non-factor that Travis Hunter has been through 2 weeks so far.
yeah, no, you don't have to tell me twice. I have him in fantasy, so I already know the non-factor he's been. I mean, he just has the most non-existent wide receiver stats ever. Like 3 catches for 22 yards. Last week he was like 4 catches for like 30 something yards or something like that. And he's getting the targets. I mean, he literally has the 3rd most targets on the offense. Like he's getting the targets for the ball. He's just not like, it's just either a bad pass by Trevor or he's not like making anything of it or he's just dropping it. It's like one or the other, and it's just ruining like his potential production. I don't know what they can do to fix it though. Like what are they supposed to do? Give him the ball and handoffs? Like that's what Travis Etienne and their backup running back that they drafted is for. So I don't know, like they can't really do anything.
It's kind of a big deal because like the Jaguars bet on Travis Hunter so much by trading away their first round pick next year. And if this team is like finishes like 5-10 or whatever, sorry, it'd be 5-12 or whatever. Like you just all you do is give the Browns basically another top 5 pick. Like I guess there's still plenty of time for him to turn it around. Obviously, it's only 2 weeks into a rookie campaign, but like so far the value has not been there. That's all I'm gonna say on that. And let's talk about the Bengals. A lot to talk about. Joe Burrow out for 3 months with turf toe. I'd like to say I'm surprised this happened, but like every other year, Joe Burrow's injured.
Yeah.
Like
it doesn't seem like a good consistent look for him as a player in his career.
I honestly have to blame. I think I have to blame the Bengals organization at this point. Their O line has been like in the bottom quarter of the league every year for Joe Burrow, and they haven't invested in it. They invested in like insane wide receivers, which are good and all, but like if you can't get them the ball because the quarterback's constantly going down, then what is the point of paying wide receivers?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and now the T. Higgins contract looks really stupid because even though he catches 3 balls for 56 yards and a touchdown, if he gets one bad game, everybody's going to be hating on him. I mean, look at Jamar Chase, 14 for 165 and a touchdown. Like, yeah, obviously he's worth the money, but it's like T. Higgins, if he's not catching a touchdown every week, it just seems like he's not worth the money because you're paying him, what, like top 10 wide receiver money
It's
in the
gone down a
league.
bit because like other receivers got paid like Terry McLaurin, but like yeah,
It just doesn't make any sense. Like, I mean, it does. It makes sense when Joe Burrow's playing. It just, yeah, you're right. Like, it's not justifiable when the guy doesn't play, and then you're left with Jake Browning, who's definitely a shell of what
I
Joe
mean to be
Burrow is.
fair, if you have a backup anywhere near as good as Joe Burrow, he's not a backup on your team.
Yeah. I
But
mean, Jake
yeah,
Browning was fine those few games he balled out in 2023, but definitely not gonna get the Bengals to the playoffs if Joe Burrow couldn't last year.
but yeah, as you said, Jamar Chase had a game, 165 yards, a touchdown. Obviously, a lot better than last week, where the Bengals offense did literally nothing. And it's crazy because like that entire offense this game came from Jake Browning. Like Burrow was in there, he didn't really do a ton because like he didn't have
Yeah.
time to, obviously.
You know what's funny is like this is the game the Bengals literally would lose last year, like a 27-31 game. This is the
Yeah.
exact kind of game they would lose last year, and they somehow didn't. So I will say, hats off to the Bengals for not choking this
Yeah.
game.
Literally the first time in so long the Bengals are 2-0. Like this is actually crazy. But now they're without Burrow. So the question is, have they built up enough of a lead with the 2-0 start for Browning to take them just far enough to make the playoffs? For Burrow to maybe get back.
How wait,
That's
how
basically the question
how many
they have.
games? Wait, it's like at least 3 months, right? So how many games would that be?
So Burrow
12?
will be back sometime in December if the 3 month estimate is correct.
So that's 12 games, 14. Joe Burrow would
So
probably
they're
come
looking,
back with like 3, 4 games
yeah,
left.
yeah, two
So
to 4 games. You'll probably
I
get
would
of Burrow.
say if Browning can win 7 out of the 12-ish games and get them to 9 wins,
I
if
mean, I
he
don't
if
think
he
you
can
need to
get
do
them to
that.
8 or 9, if Browning
I
can
was
get
gonna
them
say, I
to 8 or
think
9, that should be perfectly fine.
I was gonna say, yeah, like nine. Heck, maybe even you can get him if you're like at 7 wins with 3 games remaining. Like, because as you're like 10-7, that's like, is it if Brownie can get to like 7-7 for Burrow to come
Yeah.
back? There's a chance.
Yeah, he only needs like to win. He only needs to win 50. Like think about that. You only need to win half the games you play. So, that's
Yeah,
not like as a backup quarterback, that's not terrible with the roster the Bengals have. That's
yeah.
very very doable. So, that's going to be exciting to see. Going to be a little miserable for Bengals fans considering their division though, cuz they always end up making one of the Browns games close.
Yeah, I
And
mean they did that already technically, so
yeah. But they could definitely lose that second Browns game if they're not careful. And the Steelers are gonna be a nightmare, I feel like, with Jake Browning starting.
yeah.
And the Ravens are probably not gonna be very fun either. So
It would be funny to see the Bengals sweep the Ravens this year with Browning after they couldn't do it with Burrow. But I
if
would
that
hold my breath on that
defense
one.
if that defense locks in, anything could happen, I guess.
But yeah, Bengals in a weird spot. Browning also threw 3 interceptions this game. That's kind of ridiculous. But at the end, the Jaguars choked harder, so does not matter. 2-0, and like I said, they need every win they can get right now. So
Yeah.
we'll see what the Bengals are gonna look like against Carson Wentz now next week. So that's gonna be fun.
Mhm.
All right. Speaking of Mac Jones, as we talked about earlier with the Jags, yeah, he led the 49ers to a win against the Saints. 3 touchdowns for Mac Jones, no interceptions. Yep. Is this the best we've seen of Mac Jones since like the rookie year of the Patriots? You think?
Yeah, probably. You know what would have been interesting? It would have been very fascinating to see Mac Jones. If you swapped their careers, it'd be fascinating to see how they would do. Because I think Brock Purdy actually would have done very well in the Patriots system behind Josh McDaniels like 2 or 3 years ago. I think Mac Jones actually would have a chance of still being the 49ers starting quarterback if he started on the 49ers like 2 or 3 years ago, kind of like Brock Purdy did. That'd be
It
crazy
was
to see.
rumored that Kyle Shanahan wanted to take Mac Jones instead of Trey Lance in that
Yeah.
trade up. So
That
hey,
that would be crazy if they actually did that. So hey, technically they have him now.
they got
So
it now. It all
yeah,
works out
might
allegedly.
as well use him as much as you possibly can. I think this does help. I think Mac Jones might be able to force himself into another starting position someday. It'd be more like a Colts thing though, where like the
Yeah,
Colts the
it
Colts don't
basically
want Daniel
be
Jones, but
yeah.
they have him.
Yeah, I
That's
think it would be like similar to like Justin Fields situation, where it's
yeah. I
like a
think
team doesn't have any quarterback option. Like, hey,
yeah.
Mac Jones could be a suitable bridge.
Yeah, I think Mac Jones could definitely force himself into one of those situations someday. And I think these types of games where he's balling out with a team that's actually really good on paper and actually gets it done. I think these types of games are what's gonna put him in the situation to do that. Also, isn't it the most 49ers thing ever to pick up Brian Robinson after he gets released or whatever happened on the Commanders? And then for
And then
them
they traded him for like I think it was like a six or something.
yeah, like it's actually the most 49ers thing ever to just pick up a running back that's like actually decent. And then watch, Christian McCaffrey's not going to be able to play a game. They're going to put him in, he's going to run for like 120 yards. Like,
I mean, not saying Christian McCaffrey is a system quarterback, but if you wanted to make that argument, last season definitely gives you an argument.
yeah, Isaiah Guerrero, dude, that guy was a balling out in the 3 games he played at the end of the season.
But yeah, let's talk about the rest of the Niners, how they did. Fred Warner apparently forced 2 fumbles that game, so that's just average Fred Warner's thing. So that's not that surprising. But yeah, good job by him. Um, but yeah, do we think this 49ers team is going to be able to hold it together without Brock Purdy for probably another week?
Who do they play this week?
The Cardinals.
Yeah, they should be able to. Mac Jones should be able to make that a competitive game. They should be fine.
Yep, it's just a matter of time waiting to see if they get when they get George Kittle back. Brandon Ayuk, like they have a lot of players. If they all get back and all do well, this could be a better team than it seems like right now. But we'll see. Speaking of healthy though, CMC actually being healthy, could this be another 20? Could this just is he also just on a cycle where he doesn't get injured every other year?
I don't know. It
I don't know.
it seems like it. I mean, his career, he got he didn't get injured his first 3 years, got absolutely shredded his next 3 years. Went to the Niners, got injured, was fine 2017, was fine in 2023, got injured, and now we're here. So it seems like he's not gonna get. It seems like he's either gonna get injured, or he's not gonna like. It could go either way. He could have back-to-back bad years and then go and play well, or he could have one off year and then ball out this year. So we'll have to wait and see.
Let's see if the Niners can do with it because I don't know how many times they can depend on CMC. Unfortunately, just how it goes with you in a career like that. But yeah, let's talk about the Saints a bit. They actually were in this game, which is more than I thought they'd be. To be honest, the Saints have actually been in both of the games they played so far. They've like they're not the worst team in football, despite the roster saying they should be the worst team in football.
Yeah, I mean Alvin Kamara is actually doing really well. I just find it fascinating how Alvin Kamara ties their number one wide receiver with receptions. Like it's just so funny to me how
I
he
mean,
literally catches every ball in the backfield. Like he's actually just a workhorse back there. And then he just runs the ball very effectively actually against the 49ers defense that is not fun to run the ball against. So hats off to Alvin Kamara for doing well. Not amazing, but doing pretty good considering your quarterback Spencer Rattler. And hats off to Rattler for not throwing an interception. This would be the
yeah,
most like I feel like he should have at least 2 interceptions this game, but he actually had 0. So hats off to him for not throwing an interception even though you lost.
yeah, this is Rattler's best game I think in the NFL. He still hasn't had a single career win yet as a starter, but like hey, maybe he can build off of this and actually could develop to be that actual really good quarterback he was supposed to be coming out of high school. He was supposed to be the number one recruit, and obviously things haven't gone the way obviously he'd probably have liked. But hey, and the Saints QB spot's completely wide open. So if he proves himself, hey, maybe he will be back next year. If not, of course, drafts is definitely more than capable of getting a QB.
Yeah, and just prayers for Chris Olave to not get a concussion again.
Yeah,
That'd be great. I mean, he's looking pretty good so far through 2 games. So just hopefully he doesn't get absolutely like destroyed in the secondary again.
all right, let's go over a quick one once again. The Ravens just decimated the Browns. I mean, like the Browns defense was kind of holding the Ravens in check for like the first half, and then once you get to the fourth quarter, it was just all the floodgates were open. Other than the running game, because apparently Derrick Henry couldn't do anything against that Browns run defense though. Like only 23 yards for Derrick Henry is a crazy feat, but they still lost by like 30 points. So
Yeah.
didn't do as much as you'd think it would. But yeah, Lamar actually had 4 touchdowns, and all of them were from 10+ yards away.
Yeah.
Not a single like, oh, quick little run it in, or like a quick little like little slant.
Yeah, this is a very impressive this is a very impressive loss by the Browns, I will say, for what they did to Derrick Henry. But yeah, again, at the end of the day, if you stop Derrick Henry, you still got to worry about Lamar, and Lamar's just a really good passer now. So it's kind of hard to stop that. And he's just yeah, he's slinging that thing in the back of the pocket, and 4 touchdowns, 41 points. Very much Ravens thing in the past where they would just blow out teams early on in the season, and that's kind of what they did here. So yeah, nothing really surprising there. Joe Flacco played Dylan Gabriel had to come in. Did Flacco just get benched? Is that what it was?
I probably didn't actually have a chance to like fully watch this game, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I don't know.
I didn't feel the need to go back and watch it. But yeah, Dylan Gabriel came in. Honestly, if the Browns had like above average QB play, I feel like they maybe could have had a shot at winning this game because their defense probably wouldn't be as gassed by the time I got to the end.
Yeah.
But either way, what do you expect the Cleveland Browns to do? They're the Cleveland Browns.
Mhm.
Is what it is. All right, let's get the best game of the week out of the way. At least from the Lions fans' perspective, absolutely the belt against the Bears and Ben Johnson. That was insane offensive performance. Let's start with the positive of the Bears, which is literally only one player, which is Rome Odunze. The entire Bears offense, he had 128 yards and 2 of their 3 touchdowns. I might add though, like
Yeah.
that's literally like the only positive takeaway. Because yeah, that was just I don't really know what to say about the Bears. Um, that's what the positive by the way for the Lions. St. Brown 115 yards, 3 touchdowns. His first ever 3 touchdown performance. Yeah, St. Brown's still there. He's back, and we'll see what he can do against the Ravens, I guess, this week. Tesla, another one-handed catch. Once again, his only catch once again. It wasn't quite for a touchdown. It was like near the end zone, but yep. So literally Tesla's career is just a highlight. It's just a highlight reel, I guess. So maybe next week we'll get another one. James Williams, most insane stat line ever, 108 yards for just 2 catches and a touchdown.
That's the most Jameson Williams thing ever. I'm guessing it was just one really big trick play, and the other one was like a medium-sized play.
No, it was just like it's like they didn't know who was covering Jameson Williams on the touchdown, and he just like ran, just straight up ran.
Oh.
Past them, and then like tie off, just like slung it to him. But yeah, he had like I think he had 4 targets, if I correctly. Basically, they would just like occasionally go for a deep shot with JMO. I feel like it's open up. I know one of them like JMO just like was just a little too slow for it, and he could have had a 3rd catch. But yeah, that set line's so dumb.
Yeah,
but that's why Jameis Williams gets paid.
Yeah, that's what you have to do with him is you have to just take that deep shot every once in a while. Because with his speed, it really just depends on like the play. If he can just beat that corner off the start, he's most likely just gonna be gone. So yeah, that's smart by Goff to just sling it to him every once in a while on that deep shot and just see if it works.
Speaking of Goff, though, near perfect performance here with 23 for 28, 5 touchdowns, 334 yards. That Bears defense did literally nothing. They didn't even like sack him at all. I'm not even sure they pressured him, to be honest. Like it was ridiculous.
Yeah,
ridiculously. The line played and then Goff.
This is the most like stat stuffing game I've ever seen. I mean, it's well deserved.
I don't know. The Cowboys exist.
Yeah, I know. I know. There was a few of those actually this week, I'm gonna be honest. But the Lions, they always do this. They did this twice last year, and they're probably gonna do it at least one other time again this year. If I was to bet, it might be against the Bears the second week, or the second time they play them. They might have to go for 60 that time, but yeah. Lions stat stuffing with just way too many touchdowns to count. That's the most Lions Dan Campbell era thing ever. So not surprised here, really.
But yeah, do we think the Lions this week's offense is closer to what we're gonna see this season? Do we week's Lions team is going to be closer to what we're going to see this season?
I think it's gonna be a good mixture of like Jared Goff goes for like mostly like 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, or like 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions type of thing, where it's like he'll throw interceptions
Okay.
that are like questionable, but besides that, like he's gonna get enough touchdowns to usually win you guys the game, most likely. I think your offense is gonna be good, but I think it's gonna have very questionable moments at times, kind of like against the Packers.
Okay. As long as watch way too much golf at quarterback. The way the intersections tend to go with them, they tend to come in bunches. He doesn't. He tends to not like most games. He will like do like near perfection with the ball, but like once in a while, like you get him like off timing and everything. Like it takes him a bit to get rhythm, which is why I said they tend to come in bunches.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the past 2 seasons he's thrown 12, but last season he threw
Yeah.
37 to counteract that touchdown. So, as long as he
Yeah.
throws like, 37 touchdowns, the 12
Keep in
interceptions
mind,
don't really matter.
nearly 50% of those interceptions came in the Texans game alone.
Yeah. I think everybody remembers that game. That game was
Yeah,
weird.
unfortunately, it was yeah.
That
But
was
like I
weird.
said, they tend to come in kind of bunches. So like for like 12 of the games this season, he probably won't throw a single interception, but like we'll have like a few in like 3 or 4. That just sense how it tends to go with him. But regardless, yeah, let's talk about the Bears finally. Do we think they are the worst team in the league after this week's performance?
I probably would want to say that because everybody's glazing Caleb Williams, thinking he's going to be the best quarterback under Ben Johnson, and I just don't see that happening. Like Caleb Williams has a lot to fix. He just like his timing's off, his pocket presence, like his ability to sense things in the pocket is off. Like everything about like the quote unquote crazy good quarterback he's supposed to be is off. And for that reason I would want to say they are the worst team, but I think objectively it has to be the Titans. The Titans offense is just so much worse than the Bears, in my opinion. Not because Cam Ward, but because everybody else. And Caleb Williams at least has 2 serviceable wide receivers and a Dunze and Moore. Like a Dunze is not amazing, but Moore should be pretty good.
I don't know. It's
Um,
like Doomsday is going to be the new wide receiver one based on how Caleb has a connection far better with him than Moore. Honestly, I think DJ Moore is probably going to get traded or something along those
yeah,
lines.
that's what it seems like. DJ Moore, yeah, last year was bad. This year
Yeah.
it seems like it might be worse.
I don't know. I can't see him wanting to stick around at the very least. But like based on what I've seen so far from the Bears, their first drive in both games went well, which is normally the scripted drive for like most teams is like the first drive. So I'm thinking, I feel like it just has to be Caleb has to be the problem based on what I've been seeing, and also Ryan Poles. But that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah. All right. I say we move on to the next one because I don't want to talk about the Bears anymore.
That's fair. I don't think Bears fans even want to do that. Anyways, let's talk about the Colts stealing a win against the Broncos. Bronix kind of had a little bit of bounce back game. He had like 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown. I think maybe a fumble. I can't remember. Actually, yeah, he had a fumble as well. So like last game, like the defense carried Bo Nix. This game, Bo Nix 3 touchdowns. Did have that 1 interception. It was kind of not great, but definitely a lot better than last week. And what the heck happened to the Broncos defense? Like that defense locked down the Titans last week, and it did like nothing this week.
Dude, I think it just
Daniel
might
Jones
I think it might just be the
looked like
Colts.
perfection.
It might just be the Colts. I don't know. Yeah. I actually saw this score and I was like actually so mad cuz like I predicted the Broncos to start out like 4-0. Like they had a really solid chance of starting out like 4 or 5-0. And they kind of screwed it up right here. I'm not going to lie. This is like such a stupid loss is to have a defense like yours but give up enough points to lose by 1. Like that's just the most stupid thing ever. Like, I guarantee you Sean Payton was so mad after watching the film and seeing all the mistakes they made. And I will give Daniel Jones the credit. Like, he balled out even though he only threw one touchdown. Like, he still balled out. Um, and like you said, almost played perfection football, which is crazy to say. And it's just
He
it's
literally
it's just
only
kind
had
of
the one
annoying.
sack on the day. Like other than that, he literally like was perfect basically.
Yeah. It's just kind of annoying for the for to see like the Colts or to see the Broncos play the way they did and have the defense they have and then just to lose by 1 point. So, it's just kind of an annoying game. That's all I have to say really.
Next question: do we think Troy Franklin's going to be the new Broncos wide receiver one? I mean,
Dude, I don't know. What was Cortland Sutton doing this game? How does he only have
I don't
one
know.
catch
I don't know.
for
I
six
guess maybe Bo
yards?
Nix is really embracing the Oregon connection. I guess with Trey
I
Franklin. I
don't. Yeah,
guess.
I don't. I think he should. I liked Russ's connection with Sutton. I think Russ's connection with Sutton was really solid. I don't
Yeah.
like Bo Nix's connection with Sutton. For week one was decent. This week was horrendous. You cannot have your wide receiver one catching 1 for 6.
Yeah, I know
Um,
it's similar how I felt when like Justin Fields like balling out with DJ Moore specifically, and now DJ Moore cannot be bothered to help Caleb at all.
yeah, Troy Flint. I remember him last year. He was solid. He was like a dark horse fantasy
Yeah,
flex
he had
starter
that
last
one
year.
touchdown the Broncos got in the playoff game at the start, the deep ball, and then that was
Yeah.
like it. Like,
Marvin Mims, I like. He's a little inconsistent though. That's the thing is like a Troy Franklin, and a Marvin Mims are too inconsistent to be wide receiver ones. But like you're gonna make Sutton look inconsistent if you only give him one, or if you. I mean, you did give him 4 targets to be fair, but still like something's gonna be done. Something's gonna be fixed. And then Evan Ingram too. You guys got him, and you only target him twice for
yeah,
and one
I don't
like
know.
that's a little questionable too. And the rest of these guys, I have no idea who Tyler Batty is, or Pat
That's a
Ryan,
wild last
or
name.
Pat Bryant's, RJ Harvey, Adam Trot. I have
I know.
no
I
idea
only
who
know
half
of
these
RV
guys are.
Harvey because like he's the rookie running back that's like behind Dobbins.
I mean, they have probably the most questionable wide receiver room in the league besides the Titans.
I don't know. Bills and Titans have
I'd say
pretty
it probably
questionable
goes
ideas.
Titans, then Broncos, then Bills. Like, cause dude, Denver's not looking great. I feel bad for Bo Nix. They need to draft some guy, with their pick this year.
I'd normally put the Saints in that also in that argument, but they're both the wide receivers are healthy, so
Yeah,
yeah.
true. All right.
Uh,
Anything else you want to say?
do we think Daniel Jones is like gonna continue this insanity run?
Let me look at the
I guess is
Colts.
the
Let me
question.
look at the Colts schedule. I'll tell you. Okay.
Because like
So
they're
they
playing
went.
the Titans this week.
All right. So like you're going 3-0 against the Titans. Rams. That's gonna be a real challenge because I think the Rams are gonna be 3-0. So battle of the undefeated team. Well, actually, no. Sorry, the Rams play the Eagles.
I mean, we'll see on that, I guess.
The Rams could be 3-0. So Rams is gonna be a struggle because the Rams are probably gonna give the Eagles a run for their money. Um, Raiders, you probably win that one. Cardinals, you probably like Daniel Jones could start off the season like 5-6-1, 5-2. He could
Yeah.
start off the season very well and in a position to get the Colts to the playoffs. I really don't want to see the Colts in the playoffs. That'd be so like
I don't know. I'm
weird.
having a hard time. I just feels like the Colts are gonna win the division by default. It feels like right now.
It feels yeah, but it feels like a wasted spot. You know, no offense to the Colts, it
I
just
mean, to be
feels
fair,
wasted. I don't
I
know.
mean, what do you expect? That's like that used to be the entirety of the AFC South and NFC South, just like a wasted spot in the
At least yeah,
playoffs.
but at least the Texans have a chance against some teams. I mean, now
I
they
mean, the
don't.
Texans have been like all right, other than this year,
The
but like
Texans'
still,
offense, their offense hasn't been looking great. But besides that,
yeah.
like they should have that spot. But yeah, the Colts might have it. So I don't care. I'm gonna call the Colts a wasted playoff team, even if they make it, and even if they win. I don't care, dude. Daniel Jones already has a playoff win. He
I
doesn't need
can't
another
wait to
one.
see Daniel Jones as a starting QB in the divisional round of the playoffs.
Dude, this better not be a Case Keenum type of thing, where they ball out. That'd be so weird.
Daniel Jones is actually a really good quarterback, but he's just trying to get a bag and then do nothing.
Yeah, that would be
Like
weird
that's
if
why he stopped balling out on the Giants.
he just like tanked his career on the Giants just so he could get to this moment here.
But I mean, to be fair, I'd also went out of New York. No, I'm kidding.
I wonder if this is going to be a trend though, continuing. Like we had Sam Darnold last year, we had Case Keenum a while ago, Daniel
Yeah.
Jones this year.
Like you said, we just had a lot of bounce back QBs going on the second team. Obviously, golf has to be like the first one to mention. Baker,
Nick Foles, Baker.
like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
true.
This has been a trend. So like, also the Vikings have to be feeling upset right now about not signing, just re-signing Daniel Jones.
That would be
Like
so funny.
they literally had him on the team last year, and they could have just re-signed him. So like I am baffled still they didn't do that.
All
But
right.
yeah, the Colts. Yeah, other thing I have to mention about them, they are literally the first team in the Super Bowl era to not have to punt in the first 2 games of the season.
That's actually insane. I'm not even gonna lie. That's probably the most impressive stat I've heard in a while. Because like think about it, you actually punt like a lot
Yeah,
during the season, and the fact that you
like if
haven't
there's any
done
team
that through
I'd
two
believe it, it's
games,
the Lions. Not doing that. Also, sorry about it. Did not punt or turn the ball over specifically.
that's even more impressive with Daniel Jones as your quarterback.
Like you could tell me the Lions did that, and I'd be like, I could see it, Dan Campbell not wanting to punting and just getting every fourth down in the first few games. I could believe that happening. But like the Colts is crazy. But yeah, other thing I mentioned, Jonathan Taylor is balling out, 165 yards. Like yeah, he's good, and it seems like he's helping Daniel Jones out a lot. And speaking of helping Daniel Jones, Tyler, second in of all rookies in terms of yards, and like the number wide receiver one effectively on the Colts right now, like as a tight end. That's kind of crazy.
Yep, looking
Uh,
real well.
Let's get to the almost choke job of the Cardinals. Um, yeah, they almost choked against the Panthers. The Panthers literally had 0 run game that game, a total of 49 rushing yards. Like, how do you even do that? Yeah, Bryce Young just completely struggled in the first half. Gave the just like immediately deposited 4 points to the Cardinals before the game even began, like going interception and fumbling the ball away. Like, oh god, Bryce Young looked so bad last week, and then like first half of this game. One positive, I guess, is Tedero McMillan's pretty good based on how it's been going over there. That's like the only positive I really have in Carolina right now. Uh, Somehow Calais Campbell had 2 sacks at his old age. Yeah, imagine being Bryce Young being sacked by the 6'8" Calais Campbell.
Yeah, Calais Campbell. What is he? 42 now. He's actually ageless. He's insane.
I think he's in his late 30s actually, but yeah, that is
I
so
swear
ridiculous.
he was like 40. He was four. I'm no, actually you're right because he was on the Dolphins the other year. Dude,
Yeah,
he's actually ageless. He's crazy. Hats off to
yeah,
him.
that is yeah, but yeah, basically then we had Kyler Murray basically then swap roles with Bryce Young and started just choking the game away. Like that interception was wild. Like it was right to the defender. And then like another thing, you let up an onside kick to the Panthers. Like that's not you're not supposed to be like anyone's supposed to recover those, and like you let that happen, and then the Panthers basically got bailed out of the ref on that final drive repeatedly, and still couldn't win that game. Like it feels worse when you see a team like fail a comeback than if they just get dominated. Because like if you can't win the game where everything's going your way, then like, games can you win?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I was
I
digging
don't
way too much
know.
of a hole, but yeah,
Yeah,
that was
Cardinals start out the most fake 2-0 I've ever seen.
I don't know. The Saints of last year exist.
Yeah, I guess. But the thing is like them starting out 2-0 is really bad for their division cuz like those 2 games could really tip the tide. Considering like the Cardinals usually keep it competitive within their division, that could really help them out. So I'm kind of mad about that cuz I want the Rams to win that division.
Well, I mean, to
Um
be fair, if the Rams just sweep the Cardinals, then there won't be an issue.
yeah. And then Panthers starting out 0-2, no one's surprised there. I mean, maybe people
Yeah,
thought they were gonna be 1-1 and Bryce Young was gonna ball out, but he kind of did this game. Besides that one interception, and one interception, in a game that's as close as this, within a touchdown of winning, is not great. So, got to work on that. But yeah, McMillan balling out as always. I mean, looks like he's going to be very, very good going forward.
yeah.
Kind
Rookie
of,
offensive rookie of the year, maybe.
yeah, kind of like his draft pick suggested he would be. So good thing to see there, I guess, for the Panthers. But Bryce Young has gotta really step up his game and be more consistent. Other than that, I don't think there's that much to say.
All right, let's talk about how Travis Kelsey cost the Chiefs the game against the Eagles. That game was a completely defensive showdown. There was like almost no offense that game. Like, and put simply, this is the second game in a row the Eagles struggled ever since Kellen Moore went to the Saints. So I don't know. Do we think the Eagles' offense is just in like a little slump because of the adjustment period, or do we think we're just going to see like no air game for this year?
I think it's gonna be a mix of both. I think against opponents that are very good, like the Chiefs, maybe like the Rams next week, they're gonna struggle. But overall, I think there'll be. I think they're gonna be fine. Like I think they're gonna definitely know how to when how to pound it against like the really bad teams. But I think they will struggle similar to how they did to that night against the Chiefs. Going forward against competitive teams like the Lions, the Ravens, the Bills, the Rams, they'll probably struggle. So we'll have to wait and see. But this is the most Chiefs defense thing ever, is where they're like, the Chiefs defense will do really, really good against the Eagles, and then just I don't know, their offense just won't connect enough, and it's kind of annoying because the Chiefs defense plays very, very good, and then the Kansas City just can't do enough to win the game when it's really close too. Yeah, and I don't know what's happening with AJ Brown. 8 targets, 5 receptions, but only 27 yards.
Yeah, uh,
That's really bad
like I
for AJ
said, it's
Brown.
just that Hurts isn't really throwing the ball much, and when he is, he's throwing it to Dotson. Weirdly enough, not like Smith or AJ Brown. When you have both of them, it's like weird. I don't know. Like I said, literally Jalen Hurts is I think the only starting QB right now without a passing touchdown. Right now, I think like Dylan Gabriel has a passing touchdown. Like I don't know.
And then I
It's
feel
just
bad for
weird.
Mahomes' wide receivers. This is not good.
Oh yeah, let's get into that. Travis Kelsey drops the ball into the end zone, right into the swing. That right there swung the game 14 points, and I'm pretty sure that is in fact what cost him the game. Like it was dead in his hands. Like it should every single day you should be coming down with that ball if you're supposed to be the starting tight end for a team, and just it yeah, right into the defender's hand is just another level of crazy. You can
And
argue that
then
Kelsey has cost them both of these games actually for the Chiefs because like he's the one that also got Xavier Worthy in that Chargers game.
yeah, didn't Hollywood Brown go down with an injury too?
No, it's just Worthy and Rice is suspended, justifiably so. Which speaking of which, Kelsey was wearing a free number 4 shirt in the pregame, so that's something.
I mean, hey, to be fair, he is his teammate, so maybe he knows something they don't.
Yeah,
But
but like hit and run at 120 miles per hour to a vehicle.
yeah, that's more. That's just more like a thing. Like you just want him for his talent, and maybe not for other
Yeah, Chiefs
reasons.
have had many character problems on a lot of players, but that's a conversation for another
Hey,
day.
look, Kareem Hunt's back on the team now. Uh, Kareem Hunt, I don't
No,
know. He
I
just
don't think. Are you sure? Because Mahomes has more rushing yards than IK Pacheco and Kareem Hunt combined.
Kareem Hunt's so like he's come back. He's been so like mid, not even mid.
Yeah,
He's been so below average. It's actually not even funny. I picked him up for fantasy last year. When he came back, he was decent for like the first 5 weeks, and then just completely he got injured, and then just like fell off. Like straight up,
yeah,
he's just not a good running back anymore. He's actually really bad because he's just slow. Like 8 carries and 31 yards. He's just slow and old at this point. I don't know why they have him. At this point, you'd be better off getting some like injured young guy that can't really, be athletic anymore than someone like Kareem Hunt who's old and slow. But whatever, I don't know. The
yeah.
Chiefs are weird.
What's a better option? Pacheco is not doing anything either.
It's probably like
So they can maybe use him.
it's probably like an Andy Reid thing. Andy Reid probably likes Kareem Hunt or something like that. And Pacheco, yeah,
Yeah,
Pacheco needs to do better. He cannot
like,
do what he does.
I don't think I've seen. I don't think I think of a single good NFL team that's ever had their quarterback account for more rushing yards than all of their running backs combined on the season. It's like it's not shock. It's not a shock that this team is 0-2 because of that. Like
Yeah,
that's just not sustainable.
their running game has definitely caught up to them. If Pacheco can get it going, they should be able to like withstand enough on defense. Like their defense should be able to play enough. If their running game can get going, then Mahomes should be able to cook enough for them to win a lot of the close games they won last year. That's the thing. Is their running game was good enough for Mahomes to do his thing and for him not to worry about having to scramble to pick up yards. So as long as the running game gets going, the Chiefs should be perfectly fine. They just gotta have either Hunt step up, which is almost impossible, I think, at this point in his career,
Yeah,
or Pacheco, which coming off that injury, he does not look the same. So hopefully he doesn't become Nick Chubb 2.0.
yeah. I don't know. it's weird though. Like everyone's been saying Mahomes was like kind of like like slaying a slump the last 2 years, and now he looks better than ever, and the team around him is even worse than it's ever like been. So
I really do
I don't know.
think it's his running. Their running game last year was so bad too. I think
Like
it's
it's
just
just Mahomes back just in time for nobody to be able to catch the ball.
yeah. I think their lack of talent on offense is finally caught up to them, or the talent is either like it's either talent that's washed up, or it's like talent that's like not yet there, like Xavier Worthy, or it's just like Juju Smith-Schuster and like you know, I don't know, Kareem Hunt. It's like, dude, what are we doing? Like, it's weird.
Let's talk about this finally because I feel like it has to be talked about. So the Eagles came in and they did 11 tush pushes that game for a start. And as a lot of people were pointing out, and I'll send a picture in DMs while we're at it. We can pretty much show on screen if you'd like. It's up to you. But basically, throughout that entire game, like I don't normally take the like opinion of Chiefs fans complaining about things because they tend to complain a lot about stuff. But like the Eagles seem to be lining off sides quite a bit, like into the neutral zone, and their guards seem to be false starting basically on almost every single one of those tush pushes. And apparently they were also copying people. That's why the picture, not a video, I'm showing you. So yeah, but it does sound like they're gonna be keeping an eye on the Twitch more and calling out false starts, which I think could really hurt the Eagles. If I honestly think they might overcall it in the Rams game this week, and that could potentially cost them the game. You know, just
Yeah,
overcorrected stuff.
they should. Yeah, I don't know what to think about it because at the end of the day, I think personally it's still football to a degree. But I
Yeah,
think
I don't
one.
know about the tush push per se, but like I will say them like the guards going early is kind of BS.
I don't like the Eagles doing it as much as they do it. Like Josh Allen, or like, do you remember when like Tyler Huntley did it back like a few years ago against the Bengals in a playoff game, and like
Yeah,
he got the ball punched out by Sam Hubbard and they lost the game because of it. Like something like that
yeah,
where it's like it's the occasional like last second thing where you just, or like Dak Prescott or Matt Stafford used to do it back in the day. Like they just jump over the line at the last second and put it in. Like that's fine. But you doing it every single freaking time, you need that one. Like it's kind of stupid. Like you have Saquon Barkley, you have Devontae Smith. Like you have two of the fastest players in the NFL. Just use them. You don't have to
yeah,
tush push it every time. That's just kind of stupid. I don't like that. I think
yeah.
they
No,
need more creative offense. It just makes for a better
it's
product at the
it's
end of the
gonna
day.
be probably over ref this week, but like at least I hopefully should make the Eagles lean off of it less because like yeah, I kind of agree with you. It's just like it's literally the crutch of their offense right now and this entire season so far.
Yeah.
Like they did a lot last year, but I feel like they're doing it even more than they did last year.
Yep.
But whatever.
All right. Next game.
Anyways, let's get into the most exciting Sunday night game of all time. The Falcons kick their way to a win over the Vikings because, and I do mean kick because there was like only field goals that entire game.
This game
Yeah,
I watched most of it cuz I was interested to see. I don't They didn't really market it that well, but the battle between the two like non-existent rookie quarterbacks last year, McCarthy cuz he
yeah,
was injured and Penix cuz he didn't really need to play until the end there. So very very interesting like kind of matchup here
yeah,
going into week 2 cuz they both or I mean, the Falcons basically got a win week 1. It was just like last second taken away from them. So two teams that were coming off really good week 1s. And then Vikings come out and they play really bad to start it off, but then miraculously they get that field goal at the end of the half, which was pretty cool because like Jefferson caught a crazy pass. And then I was like, hey, maybe they're gonna turn it around. And then McCarthy just literally started throwing. Well, no, it's like they would drive down there, and then like something stupid would happen where like McCarthy would do something dumb, a wide receiver would do something dumb. Like I remember Jalen Naylor fell
yeah,
down and like the ball just got picked off. I'm like, what do we do? Like what? And then like McCarthy, it was just a terrible pass or something like that. And I'm like, dude, like they would just make the most stupid decisions like in like the Falcons, within the Falcons 30-yard line, that would cost them like a drive, and then they literally wouldn't have they just wouldn't have the ability to go back and do it again. And yeah, it was like 12-6 for the entire game, it felt like. And then at the last
yeah.
second the Falcons came away with it. The Vikings could have easily won that game if they converted on like a field goal and a touchdown. And their defense held up. Their defense was just gassed because they just had the worst like conversion, like not even in the red zone because they didn't even get to the red zone. It was like within like the other team's half. They just had terrible conversion.
Let's just get into some of these stats. 9 sacks in the night, which is a lot. 2 interceptions, all of them JJ, and 3 fumbles. One of those was JJ. Uh, yeah. Uh, to say that JJ McCarthy struggled that game with a barely above 50% completion percentage on top of those 3 would be an understatement. But also that O line did absolutely nothing for him.
Yeah, I remember because they were. I remember. No, it's not Joe Buck. Who is it? It's Chris Collinsworth was talking about how like the Falcons literally don't have a number one rusher. Like they really don't have one guy that's like above head shoulders above everybody else. It's really just by committee. James Pierce is the guy I think they're looking to be that like no head and shoulders above everybody else, or maybe a Leonard Floyd. And like, dude, it was literally just everybody was getting in there. I mean, look, one guy had 1.5, another guy had another 1.5, one guy had one guy had a half a sack, another guy had one, another guy had a half a sack. Like, what are we doing? It's like six
Yeah, I might
different
as well just give you that
guys.
stat line because I already had this written down. Falcons defensive rookies this game from this draft class. Uh, Billy Bowman Jr. 1 interception. Jalen Walker 1 sack. Xavier Watts 1 interception, and James Pierce Jr. another. Like
Like they just don't have. I don't know why. Like the Vikings all offensive line kind of did suck. The fact that you couldn't stop the most like mid pass rush in the league is crazy. Like you literally just let these guys run through you. There was like nothing they
it
did to
might
stop
not be
them.
as mid as it was last year because of the 2 first-round picks
I
at
don't.
edge rusher,
I
but
I
like
would say that their pickup of Leonard Floyd is sneaky good because he's been really sneaky good for the past few years.
I don't know.
James Pierce is a big guy. James Pierce does seem like he has the chance to be really good. So maybe they will be actually good. But I'm just saying, like on paper, coming into the season, people didn't really think of them as the pass heavy rush team, but they could be that, I guess. And but the Vikings just didn't do anything to stop it. They really didn't. And Justin Jefferson, I felt bad for him because there was a few plays where JJ
Yeah,
McCarthy could have hit him, and it would have been nasty. He just only hit him on that one really good play where he caught it and ran for like 40 yards in open space. Besides that, like there really wasn't any other play that was awesome for JJ. So not great. Adam Thielen played. I think he
yeah,
dropped. Didn't he drop one pass?
possibly. Honestly,
I think
I
he
kind of
dropped a
I kind of
pass.
zoned out to still a decent degree during that game.
And then TJ Hawkinson needs to get the ball more. I don't know. Dude,
Yeah, I don't know. Is
before
he
he
just
tore,
like washed now after that
yeah,
injury, or like are they just not doing anything with him? I
before he
don't
tore
know.
his ACL, he was nasty. Now I don't know what happened to him. Yeah, Aaron
But
Jones, I will say,
well, he's on IR now, so
yeah, Aaron Jones will up until his injury needed to play better. Um,
well,
Jordan
it's now
Mason
Jordan
also
Mason season.
Jordan Mason needs to play better. This is the thing. It's literally the most 49ers thing ever. They get Jordan Mason, he balls out, comes to the Vikings, plays so mid.
I mean, I'm
They
not that shocked, to be
they
honest, because
really
like
do.
you put a running back in one of the most favorite positions, and then like he balls out, and then he doesn't ball out when you put him somewhere not as favorable. That's not overly surprising.
It really is just the 49ers touch. I don't know. Kyle Shanahan, man, it's really just him at the end of the day for these running backs. And I feel like the Vikings got tricked. They got tricked into thinking Jordan Mason,
I mean,
hey,
they gave him
he
like a
might actually
sixth,
be
I think,
good.
for him, or was it a fifth? Either way, it wasn't a lot, but yeah, they basically just stole a pick from the Vikings. Also, it was also hilarious seeing Chris Collinsworth be like speechless on that 1 interception from JJ. Like
I
he had to like process it.
yeah, I don't know which one that was. It might have been the one where the guy like no. I forget what the second
I,
interception was. I remember one of them, but I don't think it was that one.
but either way, yeah, and now JJ's injured, so yeah, for a second time, and he's played 2 games.
Yeah, that's not great. That's a terrible start to your career.
I'm hoping that it's just that he's like somewhat injured, but like not that injured, and they're just benching him until the Darasol comes back and at tackle, and like B, so they can just like take in more information, I guess, with Wentz playing. I don't know, because like I don't
Yeah.
know.
Bijan though. Bijan might be
That was the
offensive player
last
of the
point I
year.
was going to bring up. Yeah, 143 yards. He was literally more productive than the entire Vikings offense.
No, if he plays like this, he's probably offensive player of the year. I mean, he's going off right now. So
Yeah, definitely up there. Too early to call that one because like Malik Neighbors has like an insane amount of has like 200 yards and like 3 touchdowns. So
true,
oh,
true,
no, sorry,
true.
2 touchdowns. My bad. But yeah, either way, we'll have to wait and see on that. Let's get into the actual like only good primetime game of this week. It felt like Baker clutches it out against the Texans.
Dude, this was a game and a half. This was a very, very good one. I will say the Texans absolutely sold this game though.
Yeah, I guess this has got to be very frustrating if you're a Texans fan. Let's start with this. The above these offenses just like stopped scoring early into the second. Like it was like 14-10 like for this entire game
Yeah.
until like the very end. It goes ridiculous. And
Who did
yeah,
the
both these O lines
Texans?
looked horrible. Like I get the Bucks O line sucking because they were down like 3 starters on the O line, but like, what is the Texans' excuses at this point?
I mean, they lost Laramie Tunsil, so now
Willingly, I might add.
they have no like quote unquote good offensive lineman. And then CJ Stroud's just like
Yeah, he's not looked anywhere near as good as his rookie season, and he was just like missing like underthrowing and overthrowing passes. It was rough. Like I can give it like some excuse being like he didn't have a lot of time in the pocket because of his line sucking. Genuinely, though.
hey, I mean Nick Chubb scored a touchdown. That was pretty cool.
Yep, the shell of Nick Chubb back for one play. But let's pick up positive. Mecca Buka third touchdown already on the season as a rookie.
That is very impressive. I will say I really do like the but once Godwin comes back, dude, the Bucks wide receiver core is gonna be nasty.
Oh yeah,
They
it is.
have Evans, Abuka, Sterling Shepard's still serviceable.
Thielen.
Bucky Irving's like a top 5 catching like receiving back in the league already. Like he's actually insane in the backfield when it comes to catching the ball. Cade Otton, very very athletic tight end, like almost a wide receiver. That's how athletic he is.
Yeah.
And then that other guy, McMillan is pretty solid too when he plays. He's a fine like third or fourth guy, or sorry, no, fourth or fifth guy now that they have Ibuka. And then
Yeah.
Chris Godwin hopefully should. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna come back to his former self fully because he was
Yeah.
doing insane before he got injured last year. But yeah, he should be up there with Evans. Abuka is probably going to be 1 by the end of this season, with probably Godwin and Evans following suit in 2 or in 3. So that's crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm glad Baker's got his guys now. Like he's got his guy in Abuka because he loves to target him in the red zone. It seems like. But I'm glad he's got other guys like he's got the other veterans, like Shepard, like Evans, like Godwin that he can throw to as well. And then Bucky Irving's just a baller. He's insane. He's an absolute workhorse. He reminds me of a young Alvin Kamara. That's like kind of what he is, I feel like.
Yeah. No, someone's definitely gonna get the as I like to call it the Sam Laporta treatment when there's just too many people to give the ball to and just not gonna get the right amount of targets that he probably deserves on this team. I don't know which one of the wide receivers is gonna be in the box.
Yeah, I would assume it's probably gonna end up being someone like a Cade Otton or Sterling Shepard that has the potential to be up there, but they just don't have enough targets.
But yeah. Let's just talk about just how badly the Texans sold this game for a second. They blocked a punt. They nearly returned another one for a touchdown, which potentially should have been a block in the back, but that's neither here nor there. And yeah, and then they just let up a touch. Their defense, which has been shutting down. Oh no, sorry. They also got stopped on 4th and goal, which those points would have easily have won them the game if they just kicked the field goal there. Which I know this kind of hypocritical as Lions fan saying that, but yeah, and the Texans overall got held to 9 points the entirety of the second half. Like you got multiple turnovers there with that punt block and everything, and you couldn't do anything with it. It's just It's rough. They once again they kept it close with two playoff teams from last year with the Bucks and Rams, but like you got to be able to win some of these games. You can't just keep losing them. But yeah, shout out Baker though that walk off touchdown. So I don't know what happened to Texans on that defense. The defense was stopping Baker all couldn't do anything on that final drive.
Yeah, he was absolutely driving. There was literally nothing they could do. Um, so yeah, pretty cool to see the way it ended with White. Also, I mean, they couldn't stop White at all in the second half.
Oh yeah,
He was
no.
a monster. So well deserved that he got that final game-winning touchdown. And yeah, Texans just kind of D'Amico Ryans looked very disappointed. D'Amico Ryans, I think he kind of thought that his defense was going to be able to hold the line at the end of the game there and kind of be the reason why they win. I think he was just very disappointed.
I
Um,
mean,
but at
I would be as well, but
but at the
yeah.
end of the day, like you just gotta play better with CJ. Like if CJ's your guy, you just gotta play better, and you just gotta like hope that you get another field goal or touchdown, and like actually will your team to win. But you're just at the end of the day, you're just putting your defense on their heels, and you're hoping they can just like hold it up until the last seconds, which they couldn't. So
Me personally, if I'm the Texans, I'm having public tryouts for alignment.
yeah,
But
this at this point, yeah.
let's get into the last game. The Chargers defense suffocated and specifically Gino. Yeah, Herbert, another dominant game through the air. He could very well be the MVP. We'll see. Way too early to crown that, obviously, but yeah, it's just been an absolute dominant performance so far for him in this season. And despite this amazing win by the Chargers, they could not run the ball that entire game. Like Hampton did nothing. Najee didn't really do anything either. It all came through the air.
I mean, hey, that's actually like that gives you a lot of confidence though.
No, it doesn't.
As
I am a Hampton owner in fantasy.
okay, maybe not you specifically, but as like, I mean, Jim Harbaugh, like, cause considering you're the guy who wants to run the ball, and you're the reason why you drafted somebody like Hampton at 22 or whatever it was, like, the fact that your quarterback is the reason why you're getting these wins is pretty cool to see, I would say. And it's reassuring that somebody like Quentin Johnson isn't dropping the ball all the time, and somebody like Keenan Allen can still play football, and someone like Lad McConkey is technically your third wide receiver through the first 2 weeks. So that's pretty cool to see. Because now you actually have like a chance of doing something on offense that's not just called running the football. So yeah, Herbert's balling out. I mean, 500 yards, almost 600 yards, 5 touchdowns so far. Crazy for him. Looks like his 2021 self when he went for 5,000 yards. So hopefully he can do that again. And yeah, if the Chargers get the rushing game going, they're gonna be like up. They're gonna be up there with like the Ravens and the Bills, where they're just gonna be unstoppable on offense. Like no one's gonna be able to stop them if Herbert can keep this up and their run game can be effective. Um, so yeah, Chargers looking really good. Offense looking very promising as long as Hampton can at least rush for serviceable yards and not 24 yards. And the Raiders, on the other hand, I don't know. I didn't watch this
You,
game, but I did see
I
a few.
unfortunately did.
I did see a few picks were Gino's fault entirely.
You'll get into a second. First thing I will say though, yeah, Quinton Johnson, and finally in year threes, like being the wide receiver in the first round that he was drafted to be, it's actually crazy. Also, shout out, can we give Keelan Allen the comeback player of the year? Yeah, he came back from playing for the Bears. That's a lot to come from.
Yeah. Okay, I'm actually kind of surprised he didn't completely fall off. That's what I would
I
have
mean,
predicted.
yeah, I guess he just wasn't washed. He was just playing for the Bears, which does that to someone.
I
But
would, yeah, that makes sense.
and, yeah, Gino was picked off 3 times. On the first drive, it was just a really like the very first play of the game got picked off, which is unfortunate for Gino. But to be honest, that play was kind of just on the defender doing a great job making a play on the ball there. Like he was like insanely quick and managed to basically get a hand on it and then tipped it to his another defender.
Mm-hmm.
That was crazy. One of those was like a deep ball saying "screw it." We can get to this and get this in the end zone hopefully, and it was picked off. And I can't remember like the third interception, but yeah, Gino had a horrible night. I don't think he'll play this bad again. I think this is just the fact the Chargers defense, despite its talent, which you think is kind of lacking, is actually just that dominant.
Yeah.
Just based on what I'm seeing. Though big hit right now. Cleo Mack is unfortunately going to be out for a few weeks. So we'll have to see how they do without him. But yeah, that
Wait,
Chargers
just
defense looks
okay. I was
insane.
about to say just to make sure he plays for the Chargers because I thought you were mentioning that he got traded back to
No,
the
he's not back
Raiders.
on the Raiders.
I was like so confused for a second.
He'll come back to the Raiders as soon as the Raiders go back to Oakland.
Yeah. I will say a little concerning that I don't know because I didn't watch the game, but it looks concerning on the stat sheet that Jacoby Myers had 12 targets but only caught 50% of them, and then Brock Bowers was targeted 8 times and only caught 5, which isn't actually too bad.
Yeah.
But it's like, and then Trey Tucker, who caught the touchdown last week against the Patriots and kind of like was the reason why they won because they started out so well, was targeted 8 times and only caught 3 of those. I'm
Yeah.
questioning on whether or not that's Gino or whether or not
It
that's
was
them.
kind of more on Gino this game, but like it wasn't
That
fully
because
on
that's kind of
Gino.
crazy.
But
I'm not
yeah.
gonna lie. That's
Like,
12
I think
targets
the
for Jacoby
Chargers
Myers.
defense, like I said, is really good. But yeah, also Gino just did not play well on top of that. Yeah, they didn't give up a single touchdown to the Raiders, which is also kind of crazy.
It is funny though that like somebody like Jacoby Myers, I feel like Gino's considering so far at least, because this I don't think the last year I think what was the guy's name? Aiden O'Connell.
Oh yeah,
He considered Bowers his safety blanket and like kind of only threw it to Myers when he needed to. It felt like this year
yeah,
it feels like Gino's safety blanket is Jacoby Myers, and he's only throwing it to Bowers on like the explosive plays, which is weird because Jacoby
see,
Myers is not amazing. Because I'm
yeah.
we thought he was gonna be our next like number one guy with Mac Jones on the Patriots, and
I
then
mean, to be
ended up not
fair, he
happening.
probably still be your wide receiver too.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like him back. He's a good wide receiver. I don't think he's a
He
wide
did
receiver
actually
one
request a
though.
trade at the start of the season. I guess is going nowhere, or maybe at the trade deadline. We'll see. I guess, but
Jacoby Myers, he's just such a weird wide receiver one to have because I'd rather have a lot of other guys than Jacoby Myers, but
yeah.
I just can't. 12 targets is crazy.
Also, let's just get this out of the way. What do you think was the top play of this week, in your opinion?
I was thinking about this earlier. I will say it's
Yeah,
probably a 50-50 between. No, wait, what's the other one? Oh my gosh. It's probably a 50-50 between either Antonio Gibson running back the 90 something yard
yeah,
kick return to kind of put the Patriots up and then they ended up winning. Oh, that's what it was. Or it's the it's Russ's pass to the end zone cuz I watched both of these plays live. It's Russ's pass to the end zone at the end of the game saying, screw it. Malik Neighbors is down there somewhere and just threw
yeah.
it.
That might be mine.
And Malik Neighbors, I forget who was commentating, but one of the commentators was showing that the Dallas defender put his hand on his visor and like jerked his head a little bit, and Neighbors still was able to concentrate on the ball enough to catch it and fall down diving in the end zone. So that's probably my number one, and Antonio Gibson's run is probably number two, just because the Giants one sent them in overtime, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Shout out to Tesla catch, which probably make my top five, even if it didn't. Like, it wasn't in garbage time this time. It was actually really clutch to get a clutch score to put that game away. Well, they didn't like get the score, but I put them in range to go for it on fourth and put it to go for the touchdown for St. Brown.
Hmm.
So yeah, but yeah, it probably has to go to the neighbor's catch. That wasn't crazy. It was double covered. It should not have worked.
Yeah, that was insane.
And then game of the week, re-agreement for Giants Cowboys.
Yeah, I'd probably say so. Close. I would say underdog game of the week would have to be the Bucks and the because I
Yeah.
think that one was a little too scoreless for a little too long. But
Yeah,
besides
it
that, that
wasn't
was
the middle
good.
wasn't just completely nothing. I'd probably say it, but like yeah, there just needed to be something happening in
Yeah,
the middle.
yeah,
It was just nothing.
yeah. But yeah, I'd say yeah, Giants Cowboys unexpected game of the week. Well done by both teams.
Player of the week, I think I gotta give it to St. Brown with the touchdowns and 115 yards, probably myself. But who do you think is the player of the week?
Um, I don't know. I'd probably give it. I guess Malik Neighbors probably deserves it. I'm trying to think of anyone else that I'd give it to
Uh,
though.
like I said, the difference between like Neighbors and St. Brown, like they're both pretty close. Uh, Neighbors had slightly more yards with
I think
167.
I think you could
but I
argue
would also
Jonathan
have to.
Taylor.
That's also probably a very
Because
fair
like the
argument.
fact that they won, I think the only reason, one of the only reasons why they won by 1 point was because of Jonathan Taylor.
You also could make a case for Brandon Olivery, but that's just how he does things.
Yeah, true, true. We'll go Malik Neighbors just because like nobody expected the Giants to make it this interesting, and Malik Neighbors was probably the main reason and the only reason why they made it this interesting. So we'll go Malik Neighbors. Well deserved by him.
Speaking, it actually reminds me. Did you know that both the players of the NFC, like the offensive player of the week, has because of the play played the Bears? They gave it to I don't know why they gave it to JJ McCarthy, but they gave it to JJ McCarthy and they gave it to Golf Week 2.
They only gave it to JJ McCarthy because they were trying to force him in as one of the next like big quarterbacks.
Yeah. So my prediction is that Dak will win NFC Offensive Player of the Week next week because they're playing the Bears.
Yeah, he's gonna put up like 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, just complete stat pat like Goff did this week.
Those are very pivotal points. I know what you're talking
All right. Anything else?
about.
I think you had a few other things to talk,
Yeah,
right?
well, I got like one major thing, and before we just plug our picks for the week, and maybe like give a quick statement, I guess, on this Thursday night game. Probably not too much though, but yeah, who do you think is the laughing stock of the week? Who did the dumbest thing this week? You think we got some good candidates. 4 penalties on a drive by an offensive lineman, and we also have Caleb Johnson where he did in that end zone. Those are my
Yeah,
two candidates.
that's probably got to be it. The 4 penalties. I would say a close one would be. I remember watching because I was watching the Patriots game.
Yeah.
Tua overthrew a wide open Tyreek Hill, and I was just like, I was actually stunned. Like everybody was stunned. Tyreek Hill actually looked like he wanted to quit football at that point. Like
I mean, he probably really does.
he
At
he
least for the
he he
Dolphins.
legit like he was. The thing is, there's three like corners around him, but he was still wide open. Like there was plenty of room to fit the ball in, and Tua just completely overthrew the guy. And Tyreek Hill's like crashing out on the sideline, and I'm just like, damn, that's valid. But we'll go with the offensive lineman. 4 penalties in a row is insane. You probably deserve to get cut for that. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty bad.
Yep. And then if I didn't write this down, but if you had to give like a quarterback of the week, I think Goff probably has that just because near perfection against the Bears. But again, it is the Bears, but still can't ignore that stat line.
Yeah, I'd probably go. If Russ won, I would have gone Russ. But
Yeah, no, I said if he would have won, I think that's a fair argument. But they didn't win that week, so I think Goff has that one. All right, and then anyone checking the stream back or watching right now, if you want to see what do we think of every game, how each game would have went this week. It says upcoming weekend. You can check out the video where us two and two of our recurring guests pick who we think is going to win that week. So far, me and Ripcord are tied on the week. Sorry, on the season right now. So we'll see who pulls ahead this week.
yeah, we will.
And quick thoughts on Thursday night. Yesterday. Any thoughts on that game? I guess we'll talk about it more next week. But
No, not really. Not much thoughts. I mean, the Dolphins kept it closer than I thought they were gonna, but the Bills, still won pretty handedly. So
yeah, the
not
Bills
much
just
to
couldn't
say.
put the Dolphins away until Tua did it himself.
Yeah, yeah, I did see that he threw what 2 picks, so not great.
It was actually only the one pick, and he almost fumbled it to the Bills at the start, but he managed to get on his own fumble.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah,
So,
1 pick in a game that's like within 2 scores, but like you kept it close
to
the entire game is not great.
be fair, if they get a touchdown the drive, they would have been up 7
Yeah.
because the Bills didn't just proceed to score and go up 2. So go up 7, and then they did nothing again, and
Yeah.
then they kicked a field goal.
I will say, guys, fantasy football advice for this week: pick up Troy Franklin, or pick up one of the Broncos. Pick up Troy Franklin. Maybe Aqua's right. Maybe he will become the wide receiver one. You never know. Because it doesn't seem like Sutton or Marvin Mims is going to be too hot this week, but maybe Troy Franklin's the
Yeah.
hot one. Maybe just switch between them. Maybe just pick up all 3 of them, if you can in your league, and just own them all and just switch between them, and just hopefully, you get the right one on the right week. But whatever you do, do not start Tua.
Yeah. Also, I think this week you probably want to start the Bucks defense. They're playing the Jets this week. That'd be my suggestion.
Yeah,
I thought that was fine to start the Bills defense in fantasy because they're playing the Dolphins, and the Dolphins decided to have this game. So rough day for me.
yeah. All right. I think that's all we have for you guys in this stream, unless we're forgetting something, which I don't think we are. But
Should be
Uh,
good. Hopefully we'll be back again next week, doing another recap. Hopefully we have some pretty cool games to talk about.
yep.
As things go on, maybe we'll like give some predictions and like rewards for like MVP and stuff. Like there's some stuff we can do. Of course, if there's something we think we should do differently or something we should start doing or whatever, of course you can always comment down below the stream after it's done, which
Yep.
or of course join the Discord and just tell us directly there, which always cool place to talk to people. And yeah,
All
I think
right.
that's gonna do
Sounds
it for the
good.
first year of the channel.
All right. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.